Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today. We're back with another F1 2018 game experiment video here today, and we'll be asking the question, what happens to a Formula 1 race when there is no dirty air? Now, dirty air obviously is quite a big talking topic for Formula 1 fans, especially in the recent years, because the cars have been a bit more susceptible to dirty air as of late, and it's definitely been a debate that goes on still, and we talk about it quite a lot when talking about the F1 2021 rules, because there's a lot of calls for trying to reduce dirty air, trying to make downforce from underneath the car rather than the top, and trying to, stop that effect basically happening. So this is on the Ferrari car, you can see, but we've done this to every single car. So I've gone through every single car file, and we've done this. This is the line we're looking at. Slipstream air density scale lift. Now, usually, this is at 0.87. So that means that the downforce created is 0.87 of itself when a car is in slipstream. The same goes for the drag. Obviously, that's all pretty much the slipstream effect, effectively, and you can increase that, basically. So we could improve the slipstream if we wanted to, but for this episode only, we're just focusing on dirty air and the lack of downforce, which is lift in this way. Obviously, downforce is just negative lift. So usually this is 0.87. I'm going to bump this to 1, so I think in theory that should mean that there is no dirty air, basically, because it seems about right. 0.87, that kind of even sounds like the amount of downforce you would have of a normal situation when you're following another car, and in terms of the feeling of the car, definitely it felt like we had a lot less dirty air, because I myself was able to close up on AI a lot quicker. I was able to put on the throttle a lot earlier because there is no understeer, and basically, just dirty air from the car ahead, so you can just slam on the throttle a little bit earlier. I will say this, the caveat to this is obviously, unlike real life, we're dealing with AI on a game, so this may be tricky. Definitely have to take the results with a pinch of salt. The AI won't exactly know they have no dirty air, so they won't be able to react as good as I can in terms of, putting the throttle on earlier, being able to stick a little bit closer. But hopefully they will have some sort of effect, and we'll see some, well, nice racing in theory, but this is definitely going to be one of the most wish-washy results in terms of all these experiments we've done. We've been able to see some pretty concrete results. This is definitely going to be a bit up in the air if the results are actually what we're seeing, or if it's just the game and the AI being extra aggressive for some reason this race. So let's get straight into it. We're going to go into a race at the Spanish Grand Prix first of all, because Spain has always been a place where dirty air is in effect. Long swooping corners, uphill, downhill sections, and a lot of areas where I feel like a lack of dirty air will help a lot in terms of overtaking opportunities maybe. So let's see how it goes at Spain, and then we're going to check out another circuit if it's not exactly showing us the results we need to see. Right, so we ran a race at the Spanish Grand Prix. We're going to be watching back the replay cameras and doing a post commentary, because I think this is the best way to really see the results and kind of have a look at how the racing is affected by this lack of dirty air rather than on board from just one car. So here we go then, obviously underway into turn 1. Straight away the Red Bull had a horrendous start. Obviously that's not going to be too much about dirty air, but into turns 1 and 2, especially turn 3 is where I'm interested to see on board perhaps also with Vettel there as Raikkonen side by side with the Merc. Now we try and go on board maybe with the 2 cars, and then Vettel, you can see here, a little bit of a screen freeze there, but if we carry on, there it seemed like Vettel did keep up with him a little bit better than he would do usually, especially now through this corner, he keeps up with him quite well. You can see Raikkonen is keeping his nose in there. At that point, there would have not been too much of an effect of dirty air because he's quite alongside him, but there still would have been maybe a bit of bleed out of that turbulent air off the rear tyre. And then this is just some good battling pretty much between the 2 Finns there, actually. Hamilton nowhere to be seen. And then here is going to be a real test, and look at that. That is real proof of the lack of dirty air, because in that corner, with a bit of fuel on board as well, usually you have to lift off, especially when you're behind a car. Remember, these are Season 1 cars as well, so they don't have the downforce that I usually have in career mode Season 8. These are Season 1 cars, and so Ricciardo's even had enough grip there to send one down the inside of Vettel. So Ricciardo had enough. Obviously, the Red Bull's got a lot of downforce, and without any dirty air, Ricciardo was able to, get the grip to the inside of that long right-hand drop the hill, and then make a move subsequently at the end of that mini straight there without DRS. And so I think that was definitely a good, straight example of what happens when you don't have dirty air. The car is able, if you do put the power on and have the confidence, you can actually pull up alongside the cars that you're battling up ahead. Again, side by side, 2 by 2 there. You've got Vettel v Hamilton, and then you've got Verstappen battling a four-cylinder car, I think that was, but Ricciardo right up the back of Raikkonen, who's on the back of Bottas. So straight away, all the cars are very bunched up, and here goes now Esteban Ocon, who's had enough grip around the outside there to have an attempt. And so usually, I don't think you would see a Force India car trying to make a move on a Red Bull like that. But because I think because of the lack of dirty air, through turn 3, Ocon was able to have the downforce and grip levels to actually pull it through and make the move. And then here you got the two Finns battling once again. Obviously, in the DRS, the main straight, that won't be much of a difference in terms of dirty air. But, I mean, still, this is where the pinch of salt needs to be taken in. It's a 5-lap race as well, so not incredibly heavy fuel. But I still feel like, visually speaking, you can see that the cars are all very close together. Again, Hulkenberg, this is a great example there. Hulkenberg was right behind Ocon there, and he's been able to stick up his gearbox, the entire right-hander, through turn 3 due to the lack of dirty air, and now can send one down the inside subsequently. And that's what you get with the lack of dirty air. It's not a magical solution to overtaking, it's not like, it's DRS but in corner form, but what it means is it allows drivers to get close up, and then if they have the confidence, if they have the downforce and the natural grip and talent to make the move, they can do. But usually, in reality, dirty air just negates that. Well, that's why sometimes you see in real life faster cars can't get past slower cars at certain circuits because of that magical invisible kind of force stopping them. You can see again Bottas closing up through turn 3. I feel like the slipstream effect here through turn 3 has been improved quite a fair bit because of this no dirty air mod. I think, usually Season 1 cars, thinking back to my Season 1 career mode, you had to lift off so much through turn 3 when trying to close up with cars and stay with them. So, and you can see, like I said, again, visually speaking, all the cars are a lot closer. You got the first 4 and then the 5, 6, or pretty much all the, the top 3 teams, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Usually at this point, lap number 4 of the Grand Prix, or lap 3, I think it might be, I can't really tell. But at this point, they might be spread out a little bit more, but they're all within about a second of each other, from P1 to P6, which I don't think would happen without the dirty air not being there. And again, in the midfield, it's the same effect. You've got the Force Indias, the Haas, and my teammate Hulkenberg, because I drove as Carlos Sainz actually in this Grand Prix, getting together. And then the Williams car, to my surprise, has kept ahead of the McLarens here. So maybe that's another caveat. Seemingly the Williams car exponentially improves without dirty air. It's able to keep the McLarens behind there around Spain. I would have thought the McLarens would have overtaken the Williams car quite swiftly, but not to be the case. But Bottas closes up once again through Raikkonen. So let's see again. Turn 3, is there going to be a case where they can just stick through? Just if we flick through the cars, it just looks like they're able to stay together a little bit more. But, a little bit less of an impact that time round, because I guess they're all kind of, equally spaced out, obviously with some DRS as well. But like I said, this man, Lance Stroll, I think that is in the Williams car, the McLarens are able to actually keep up there. You can see Van Dorn is closing a little bit there through turn 3, but that actually might be effective the McLaren having a bit too much drag. But now we move on to the Brazilian Grand Prix, because I wasn't fully satisfied about that result in terms of, we could see some aspects of, the race being improved without dirty air, but I wanted to see more. You got to do, we're very scientific around here on this channel with these experiments, and we'll go again. I'll try a different circuit. Brazil, another one to be known for bad dirty air. Obviously, at the very start of lap 1, you can't really tell, but again, AI pretty aggressive here, side by side for the Red Bull and Mercedes car, but we'll really see now as we go into sector 2 maybe what the case is going to be. And then lap 2, once they've separated out a bit, lap 2 onwards will be the one, because lap 1 is always going to be aggressive anyway. But anyway, either way, it's a very nice battle here actually between the Red Bull car of, I think that's Verstappen down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, I think that is, or Bottas in fact, is Verstappen. Ricciardo's the one that leads the way. I think Hamilton's second then, so I think it's Bottas fighting. Yeah, it is. And then Vettel closes through a little bit down the hill. Yeah, there is some dirty air usually on that hill, so it seemed like Vettel was able to close up just a tiny bit. You could see him closing a little, but not complete concrete. But now, let's see, slipstream effect. Obviously, that we didn't change the slipstream, but into turn 1, will there be any kind of difference in the way they can attack maybe as they pull out the slipstream there? The Red Bull down the inside, and actually either way, no matter the experiment, just a very nice visual aspect to watch. Look at that, 3 wide between the Ferrari, Merc, and Red Bull there. No matter the video, always nice to see those top 3 teams fighting, scrapping away, and having a ding-dong battle there into turn 1, 3 wide to the center S. But now the Red Bull pulling out the Ferrari on the outside there. Vettel goes the long way round, and he's able to jostle for position and doesn't get affected too much by that Mercedes car. That definitely would be an effect, I feel. Having that Merc ahead of us would have affected these two, usually, but they're able to battle hard, a little bit harder, and then Verstappen gets squeezed out there. Up that hill, that right-hander Verstappen just went through, that is another place where it definitely taken with a pinch of salt. I feel like the AI are very cautious up that right-hander as we enter the kind of heart of Sector 2, whereas I, in the Renault once again, definitely could go a bit more full throttle through there. Just such is the way of the AI in terms of their aggression, and obviously they're not aware that they've got no dirty air. But here again, Vettel able to make a slingshot move around the outside of the Mercedes car. Now, I know anyway, no matter what the mod, that place on the circuit is a pretty good overtaking spot for the AI anyway on the F1 2018 game. But you never know, maybe Vettel, he was quite far back actually through the center, so maybe the lack of dirty air was able to get him a bit of a bigger slingshot basically through, and then another side-by-side battle here, and Verstappen closes up actually a little bit there. Does he get another good exit through this corner? Then the right-hander closes up into the apex. Vettel really squeezed out Bottas quite a fair bit, so that slows him down. And again, down this hill, Verstappen doesn't really gain too much there, so I think the Red Bull maybe is a bit more susceptible, or less susceptible really, to the change in dirty air. But like I said, it is very hard to tell. But strictly speaking, again, like Spain, visually, the cars are quite close, I would have expected maybe some of them to spread out a little bit more than they are right now, but Bottas goes for the overtake there. You'll have Verstappen go for some moves as well. So I think all in all, it's kind of half worked, I feel like. Verstappen's going for the move here. DRS open at this point. Around the outside. Raikkonen on the inside there. Is he going to make the pass stick to the inside of center S? Raikkonen pulls it through. Maybe a touch of dirty air might have affected Verstappen in the past, but now he pulls it through and then keeps side by side. But all in all, it is difficult to tell. So I would say this experiment's been a 50% success, or maybe, maybe that's too kind, 40% success, because it's really hard to tell. But there you go, that is literally what happens when we remove dirty air. I could have tried to do something clever and trying to make overtakes seem even better, but this is literally what happened when I changed the coding and put it to 0 dirty air. No messing about. These are the results. So guys, if you did enjoy that video anyway, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let us know what you think the next experiment should be with the cars, as wacky as it can be or as serious as you want it to be. Let me know in the comments below. I think in conclusion of this no dirty air experiment, I would say almost, quite fittingly, maybe this tells us something about real life, Maybe, the removing dirty air is not going to be the 100% solution to Formula 1's problems. I think maybe a lot of us rely on the dirty air argument too much, and in reality, it's a lot of different things that need to change to improve the racing, and not just the dirty air effect. So that's some food for thought. But guys, if you're new around here, do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'm aarava. Hope you enjoyed the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.